Welcome to the Spirit of the Outdoors. I'm on my way for my annual Turtle Flambeau Flowage. So right now, that's in Mercer, Wisconsin. That's north central Wisconsin, pretty far up there. I'm driving to Wausau, Wisconsin this evening. I just got off of work not that long ago. Had to finish packing up and get the canoe on top of the car. This is the first big trip for the canoe. The first two flowage trips I did in my inflatable kayak. So the Old Town Next, this is its real big, not the maiden voyage, but it is its big premiere as for this camping trip. It's not going to be as many days as I was hoping, but just with dealing with time off from work, it's going to be 4 days up in the flowage, and that's a beautiful time. I am about an hour into things right now, and not quite an hour, about 45 minutes, and on Interstate 94, headed west towards Madison, Wisconsin. Head up north and pick up, go up through I-39 and go up into Wausau. Then I'll stay the night there. It's about 3 hours from here. So this is the big trip, and we're just getting underway. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the weather looks good. It looks like it might be a little cool at night, but that might keep the fair weather campers away, and I might have some really good campsites. So I'm hopeful that there's not a lot of campers out because of it being down in the 40s at night. A lot of people don't want to just go out and be that hardy when there's plenty of warmer weather coming. So we'll see. Maybe there's lots of people out camping. I don't know. The first time I did this, it was 50s and 60s. This is 2 years ago, beginning of COVID actually, 2020. And there was nobody. I saw two campsites that were full out of 50. Last year when I went, it was 90 degrees in the first week in June, and there were tons of people out. This is kind of in between. It's going to be roughly 60s, 70s during the day and 40s at night. So I don't know, I might get lucky. But anyway, here we go, and we're starting off, and it's going to be don't know if you can see out the side window, but I'm heavily into north woods of Wisconsin. Just about an hour away from my put-in point at Murray's Landing in the Turtle Flambeau Flowage. And it's cloudy, but I think it's going to be a good day overall. Well, here we go. I am on the flowage. The Turtle Flambeau Flowage. It's June 8th. So this area is often grown up with weeds and reeds and things like that, but they're just starting, so they will get thick through here. But right now I can still kind of paddle this. Usually there's a waterway through here, and this is going to be good. So got a couple of nights, 3 nights out here. I'm gonna try anyway, and I'm debating on how to film, because I know I'm getting the paddle right across the camera here, but I'm debating, because I can clamp it onto one of the thwarts and kind of put it back at me, but then I have to continually lean forward to turn it on and turn it off, and I'd rather have it right here in front of me. But we'll see what kind of things I do here. I'm not sure which campsite I'm going to go to. I'm going to start paddling and see what happens. Try not to bang into the camera with my paddle. But I'm underway with my Old Town Next, and it's in the high 60s, maybe 70s right now. Clouds are building, so it's supposed to possibly get some thunderstorms this afternoon. I'm hopeful that I can find, I'm not going to go too far and get my campsite. So here we go, and away we go. So hey, it's earlier than I expected, but it's possibly supposed to storm later this afternoon, so I thought I would stop as soon as I found one of the campsites. I thought, well, I only paddled not very long. I looked for one of the campsites. For whatever reason I couldn't find it, so I kind of came back to one so I didn't paddle a lot today, but I wanted to kind of get things set up. I am doing something. Yeah, the mosquitoes are a little bit wild, but there's a little breeze up here, so it's not bad. I'm doing something that you really shouldn't do. I bought a tent not that long ago. It's actually it's only 7 pounds, so for taking it on a canoe, it's not bad. I've got a one-man that's almost 5 pounds. With the little ground cover I've got, it's real close to 5 pounds. I thought, this is a 4-person tent that's only 7 pounds, so it all fits in the canoe really nicely. Yeah, it's a little overkill for me, but I thought, wouldn't it be nice to be able to, not being like a one-man tent, have a little bit more luxury when I'm out here doing the canoe camping. And it's kind of nice to be able to have the room. So I bought this tent not that long ago at Sierra, where I have a little part-time job, and I was going to test it out last weekend, and I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't go and test it out. And so this is really the first time, and I know that I would never, usually not take a brand new tent or a brand new sleeping bag or pad or something like that and not have done like a little shakedown. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. Well, hopefully it'll work. I am really not that far from the landing, so I mean, if it rains tonight and the thing just is a sieve, which it shouldn't be. It's a Mountain Smith. It's made well. There is a flaw design, a small flaw design in the fly, which I did seal with seam sealer, so I'm hopeful that took care of it. Luke at Outdoor Gear Review reviewed a similar tent that had the similar fly. It was just a smaller version of it, and he found that it leaked around the vents, and I sealed those seams. So we're gonna see what happens, but if it really is if it's really just okay, forget it. I'm not that far. I can paddle back tomorrow and figure something out, or just suck it up. we'll just see what happens. But usually I don't do this. I don't usually come out on a big trip like this and not have tested the gear. So we're gonna go with it. There are people out here in the flowage. Oh, someone is actually pulling up to this campsite, and it's already been taken. So there it is. Really glad that I took this spot when I did. Otherwise, I'd probably still be paddling. Boat just pulled up and saw that I was here and pulled away looking for another spot. So they were looking for a place to camp. I'm glad. It could get crowded this weekend. So I'm gonna see what happens tomorrow and then figure out a game plan. But if it looks like there's a lot of people out here camping, then it gets a little tricky to canoe and to spot different spots. So we'll just see. I'm exploring the eastern section of the flowage. I've not been over in this area before, so I'm looking forward to a couple of days out here, just having fun. Well, the mosquitoes are bad, but this is my campsite. And it's looking a little cloudy. Had a rainstorm come through. You can see just over there it is raining now. But over in this area, it's clear. So yeah, it's just these are what they call scattered showers, right? But just phenomenal, beautiful. Oh, now I'm hearing thunder. Yeah, I might pick up another little storm come through here, but really nice, really nice. My first night, so gonna eat my dinner, go sit back in my tent. It is mosquito-y, I will say that. I'm pretty well. The only thing I wish I would have had is a head net. I thought about bringing it, and it just was a last minute thought, and then I forgot. So there it is. So good morning, and I'm inside the tent after eating breakfast, standing around outside, kind of keeping moving because the mosquitoes are swarming. But anyway, this is the Mountain Smith Equinox 4. These little vents were the ones that could be a problem, but I sealed them up, and it went through a couple of different little storm fronts came through, no leaking at all. So it's now Thursday morning. It's a beautiful morning out there. I don't know if you can see the sun shining, but the mosquitoes out here, like I said, the one thing I forgot was the head net, and it's hard to even stand out there because they're just all over you the minute you stand still. But I'm gonna get packed up here in a little bit and look for another, exploring some of the flowage, this side of the flowage, and look for another place to camp. So just gonna kind of do some exploring, hopefully be out on the water and not have so many mosquitoes. Anyway, that's it for right now. I'm gonna keep moving, and again, just kind of showing you this. This is a nice, I can actually sit in here, nice sized tent. 7 pounds. I know it's a lot to think about when you're carrying stuff, but I'm not portaging, and I can carry that all in the canoe and have some comfort, some little creature comfort. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's nice to be able to just be able to sit in the tent and not feel like you can't even hardly move. So I got some room in this tent. Anyway, more later, right? Campsite's all down. I'm all packed up. I'm ready to go. It's a beautiful morning and just another great day on the flowage. Unfortunately, like even just sitting out, now the breeze has picked up so the mosquitoes aren't so bad, but if I wanted to just sit out and have a cup of coffee this morning, it was brutal. They just swarm you, and they're still swarming. My clothes are treated with permethrin, so they're not biting through my clothes at least, but it is. And now that see that breeze, you can probably hear the wind. So it's a nice breezy morning, but not so windy that it's going to cause a problem out there. You can see just little ripples, and that's fine. You know, it's any amount of wind out here can create quite a bit because it is such. It's because there's so much low areas. I mean, it's not very deep. A lot of these areas are not very deep at all, so it gets pretty choppy. But this is nothing to be concerned about. So I'm going to pack up the rest and get underway and do some paddling. So once again, kind of got to camp earlier than I really anticipated, but it wasn't about the paddling. It's really about enjoying what's out here. And this is my campsite up here overlooking the flowage down there. You can kind of see it through the trees. And now the wind has probably died down a little bit, but boy, it really kicked up. And I was not making any. I had to go around through this way down along here, and the wind was just blowing so hard, and I was like, I'm done. So it happens, but I'm more along. I'm not so much out here to kind of like get as far as I can and paddle as far as I can, but just to find places, find some of the campsites that I wanted to find and take a break. So I am now at my campsite and I'm making a little coffee, and I got this new coffee. When they see you at REI, they see you coming when you're in the queue line, when you're in the checkout line. It's called the queue line in retail world. And so this is Verb craft coffee in an instant, and this is a interesting flavor. It's chocolate red apple maple. I don't know, but dark roast Buena Vista. You know, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap coffee, but I'm gonna give it a try and we'll see what it goes. And my battery on my camera is running low. Now I'm just sitting here enjoying the breeze through these huge pine trees, watching them sway. And I realized that my outdoor, or I should say my trip philosophy has kind of changed. recently, not recently, but over the last couple of years. I used to want to like do the challenge. Like I wanted to hike, you know, I did 28 miles in a day and 50 miles in 2 days, and there was a couple of challenges I put to myself, or to even do the pictured rocks, and I just took 3 days to do that, or whatever it was. And now, and even when I first came out here, I wanted to paddle like as far as I possibly could, and reach as many, reach as far as possible with going to some of the campsites as far as I could, and really put on like 30 miles, things like that, in a couple of days. And now I'm more, maybe it's just because of the age, I don't know, but maybe it's also just wanting to enjoy things, not to go so far, but just to be out and to go a little ways and really enjoy. And maybe I'm just trying to justify the fact that I'm not paddling on this beautiful day, but it's windy and the waves are just a little bit, and the wind is a little bit hard for me. So maybe I am justifying that. But I've also found that when I'm going out and going hiking and stuff, I used to be like, okay, I'm going to hike 10 miles today, and just for a day hike, and just go out and do 10 miles. And now I'm more like 4 or 5 is fine, and I'll go out and enjoy, but also take my time and really enjoy things. So I don't know, maybe it is just I'm slowing down a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I'm not that old, but maybe I'm just slowing down a little bit. Maybe I want to just kind of change the way I do things. I don't know. But anyway, it's been fabulous out here, and I'm enjoying myself thoroughly, even though I did not paddle very far at all. But it is so peaceful and beautiful. And this huge, these trees are just fantastic. I'm right in the middle of this pine forest. These big pine trees that reach up, and it's just fabulous. And I'm so excited to be out here and just being able to take the time. So I didn't paddle as far as I thought I might. Now it's fairly calm. I could probably get on the water and paddle and it would be fine, but I don't know. It's not so much about the paddling anymore. It's not so much about being on the water and getting as far and getting distances. It's just kind of being out. And I can paddle a little ways out here. That's the great thing. You can put it at any landing and paddle just a little ways, and if the campsite is free, I mean, it was open, there's nobody there, it's good to go. So you don't have to paddle very far. Here comes another gust of wind. You don't have to paddle very far from any of the landings. There are campsites within a half mile to a mile of all the landings. So I'm just excited to be out here. And tomorrow I'm going to paddle a little ways, and I don't know if I'm going to head back towards the landing or not, but it's just kind of the way it is. It's just kind of, I'm feeling very free and open, and loving connecting to her again, to nature again. I love her, all of her beauty out here, and I just love being in connection with it. So it's all good. Well, it's morning, and it's a very still morning. So it's going to be a lot of mosquitoes out when I get out of the tent and start tearing things down. So I'm not going to be filming, because there's nothing worse than swatting at mosquitoes everything when you're trying to take some nice video of camp and stuff. So I gotta get my bear bag down, and but I'm just kind of sitting packing up my tent right now, the inside, and as soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna go out and get the bear bag down and start dealing with that. But it is, they swarm, and like I said earlier, the one thing that it was crossed my mind at one point about a head net, and that would be a good thing to just keep with, like my rain gear or something. Just I have a thwart bag that's connected to the canoe, and I think that's where a head net's going to go from now on. Just going to buy one and put one in there and just keep it there so that I don't have to think about moving it around or taking one along. So, but it's been a good trip, and I'm going to do some paddling today, and we'll see where I get to tonight. It's been a good trip overall. And I just to say, hey, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you can. That would be great. I'm going to get some video of probably some paddling. Don't know what I'll get tonight. It just depends on where things take me. So anyway, we'll get some more shots of paddling in today. Just doing a final sweep of my campground. So these campgrounds out in the flowage, these are the rustic ones. They're very nice. They all have a fire pit. The ones with F, the family, which are called family campgrounds, the one with the F in front of them, they also have a table out there. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. Fire ring. This is a open air latrine or pit toilet. It's just a little commode sitting out in the open. So you go follow this little trail. It says toilet. It's back there. You don't need to see that. All right, so this typical campground, the mosquitoes are pretty bad. I've got some good dope on, but it's still, they're still flying in my face. So the water is just like glass this morning. It's going to be a beautiful paddle. I'm just doing a final sweep. I think I got everything picked up. I try not to leave anything, even little stuff, even little scraps of paper, whatever it is. I try and leave no trace. I try and make sure that it doesn't look like I've been here. And I certainly don't put any trash in the fire ring, which is, I've come across quite a bit of trash in fire rings. Okay, so then this site is actually, that is up there, up on the hill, and it's nice. You go up that way and you get the open campground up there, but then I brought my tent down here and kind of stayed away from all of that. So the theory is that if anything comes into the camp, smells anything, it's gonna, because there's just water down here. So if it comes in off the water, maybe, but it would come from that way, and then I have my tent down here, so it's not gonna bother me, bother my food. It would bother my food, but not me. So that's the theory. Canoe is over there. Water is just like glass. I'm gonna tear this down now and tear this tent down. It's been a great tent. I have really enjoyed this tent. So even though it's a little on the heavy side, it's a little bit bigger than some of the tents I carry. I have a backpacking tent that's only 2 pounds. I usually carry a 1-man tent, and I know you can get like a 2-man tent around the 5-pound, right around that area. And this is a 4-person tent at 7 pounds. Really is, when I'm not portaging portaging, as they say in Canada, when I'm not portaging, this is perfect. I can pack it all in my pack. I have a portage pack, even though I'm not portaging. All in the portage pack. It fits nicely behind me in the canoe, and it's really not that heavy to carry. This is great. I would do this over and over and over again, as long as I'm not portaging. Although it wouldn't be that much heavier, but some of those campsites are pretty small when you're portaging and stuff. So I don't know, but for these campsites out here, this thing is perfect, and I'm enjoying it every moment. It was just nice to have the extra room. I could put my chair in there and actually sit in there. So it's all good. This is the Mountain Smith Equinox 4. Again, the issue is right here. These vents, right in here. And you can see my seam sealer is still there. But there's no, it's not taped here. So right in this area on the inside, can't see, but on the inside of the tent, there's a little mesh screen for the vent. Now, without this seam right here, not being sealed, water can come through that seam and it would leak right into that mesh. So what I did is I took seam sealer and I sealed all of this on both sides a couple of times. I can even see that I've got some left over here, but I may even do it again just to keep that. Now, I shouldn't have to, right? I mean, when it comes straight brand new, you shouldn't have to seal your seams. After a while, maybe a seam might leak or something, but especially if the tape is peeling off on the inside or something. But I got 20% off of a pretty big discount already of this tent, of the manufactured retail price, suggested retail price. So I feel pretty good about just taking that, and I had a couple of squalls come through the other night and nothing leaked. So anyway, I'm gonna get this torn down. I've talked enough. Yeah, we're done, and I'll take you back out on the water. Oh, it's such a fantastic day out here right now. I'm gonna try to get this camera. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Probably right here. So you get a shot of the paddle again. Maybe right up here. You get so much paddle. I don't know. But this is a... You can hear the cranes in the background. Cranes or herons. I'm not sure what they are. And sound carries over the water so much. I can hear people talking on their boats. So it looks like there's going to be a good amount of rain tomorrow. So instead of getting further out or even having to paddle in the rain, which I don't mind, but when I can enjoy this day and paddle on this day, and there's a state forest with a whole mess of little tiny campgrounds on lakes and stuff, and I've been meaning to check that out. So big stump right there. Wow. I've been meaning to check that out, and I think what I'll do is, I made a reservation in the little campground on Sandy Beach Lake. And I thought, well, what the heck, I've been wanting to do that, wanting to check out those campgrounds. And it's such a beautiful day for paddling today. I thought I would just paddle and do a little paddling around, check out some of these beautiful little areas around here. I mean, just look at this. This is amazing. It's gonna be loud because I'm gonna turn this anchor that I have the camera on. So that probably sounded terrible. Anyway, but look at all this. And loud noise again. Okay, I'll probably cut that out. But just amazing. It's just beautiful. I'm just coming into the landing. It's behind me right now. And there's a bunch of guys in like a John boat or some kind of a bass boat, something. And they're just trying to get out. So I'm just hanging out. Trying not to bang the camera. Sorry about the sound. This area back up in here, if you go this way out of this landing, is the Flambeau River, and you can actually traverse that waterway if you'd like as well. I don't know where it goes. I don't know how you camp, if you can camp. I don't know. I've never tried that. So. All right, they're moving away from it. No, but there's all sorts of people at the landing. Always makes it tough. All right, I'll turn this off. Even though it's tinged brown because of the tannins in the water from trees and all of that stuff, it is still very, very clear.